When you are unapologetically yourself, you do not waste energy pretending, performing, or pleasing. You simply exist in your full authenticity. And that is where true confidence begins. Think about the people who leave a lasting impact. They are not the ones who blend in with the crowd. They are the ones who stand out, who embrace their uniqueness without hesitation. Imagine an artist who creates a masterpiece but hesitates to share it because they are afraid of judgment. If they let fear control them, the world never sees their art. But if they embrace their truth and express themselves boldly, they inspire others to do the same. This is the power of being unapologetically yourself. When you stop filtering your existence for the comfort of others, you give permission for the real you to shine. But being yourself is not always easy. From childhood, people are taught to conform. Don't be too loud. Don't be too different. Don't say something that might upset others. Over time, these messages shape a person into someone who is afraid to stand out. They learn to silence their opinions, adjust their laughter, and hide their real thoughts. And with every small act of self-suppression, they lose a piece of their confidence. Because confidence cannot exist in a person who does not fully embrace who they are. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers. The average person would think, I hope they like me. But a truly confident person walks in thinking, I hope I like them. See the difference? One mindset is focused on gaining approval, while the other is focused on self-respect. The person who seeks approval will change their behavior to fit in, but the person who values themselves will stay true to who they are, no matter the situation. This is what makes a person magnetic, not their ability to impress others, but their refusal to betray themselves for validation. Think about your favorite musicians, actors, or leaders. They did not become icons by trying to be like everyone else. They became great because they leaned into their uniqueness. Imagine if someone told Muhammad Ali to be less confident, or if Lady Gaga was advised to dress normally. If they had listened, they would have faded into the background like everyone else, but because they embraced who they were fully, fearlessly, unapologetically, they became unforgettable. The same applies to you. If you spend your life trying to fit in, you will never stand out. But the moment you decide to be completely yourself, without apology, you become unstoppable. One of the biggest fears people have is being judged. They hold back their thoughts, hide their true emotions, and avoid taking risks because they do not want to be criticized. But here's the reality. No matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion about you. If you are too quiet, they will say you lack confidence. If you are too outspoken, they will say you are arrogant. If you take risks, they will call you reckless. If you play it safe, they will call you boring. So if you are going to be judged anyway, why not be judged for being who you truly are? Look at children. They dance without caring if they look silly. They ask questions without worrying if they sound dumb. They express excitement without wondering if it's too much. They are free. But as they grow older, they start shrinking themselves to avoid judgment. The tragedy is that many people never unlearn this fear. They go through life wearing masks, pretending to be something they are not, all because they believe being themselves is not enough. But the truth is, being yourself is not just enough. It is your greatest power. There is a natural confidence that comes with authenticity. When you stop pretending, you stop feeling insecure. When you stop seeking approval, you stop fearing rejection. When you embrace your quirks, your imperfections, and your truth, you become a force no one can shake. Because confidence is not about perfection, it is about realness. And realness is rare, which is why it is so powerful. Imagine a scenario where two people are speaking in front of a crowd. One is trying to impress, choosing every word carefully to sound smart. The other speaks naturally, with passion and honesty. Who do you think the audience connects with more? The second person. Why? Because people do not relate to perfection. They relate to authenticity. They connect with those who are unfiltered, raw, and real. The same applies to you. When you drop the act and allow yourself to be seen as you truly are, you attract people who appreciate you for you, not for the version you think they want. The greatest gift you can give yourself is permission to be exactly who you are. Stop apologizing for your personality. Stop dulling your shine to make others comfortable. Stop worrying about whether you are too much or not enough. The right people will appreciate you. The wrong ones never mattered. Confidence is not about convincing the world you are worthy. It is about knowing it within yourself so deeply that no one's opinion can shake it. So let go of the need to be liked. Let go of the pressure to conform. Let go of the fear of judgment. The world does not need another person trying to be like everyone else. It needs you, your voice, your passion, your truth. The moment you decide to be unapologetically yourself, you become untouchable. Because confidence is not something you fake, it is something you claim by fully embracing who you were always meant to be. Confidence comes from overcoming, not avoiding challenges. Most people want confidence, but they want it without the struggle. They want to feel strong without ever being tested, to feel courageous without ever facing fear. But confidence does not grow in comfort. It is built in the moments when you stand face to face with challenges and choose to push through them rather than run away. Imagine a child learning to ride a bicycle. In the beginning, they are terrified. They grip the handles too tightly. Their body is stiff with fear. The thought of falling consumes them. And yet, every time they wobble and nearly crash, something magical happens. They learn. They adjust. They adapt. And after a few falls, after scraped knees and frustrated sighs, something shifts. They stop fearing the fall and start trusting themselves. This is how confidence is built. Not by avoiding failure, but by facing it head on and proving to yourself that you can handle it. Many people think confidence means never being afraid. But that is not true. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act despite it. Picture a person standing at the edge of a diving board, hesitant to jump into the water below. Their heart pounds. Their mind races. But the moment they take that leap, something changes. The fear that seemed so big a second ago disappears. And when they climb back up, ready to jump again, they do so with ease. Why? Because the fear has been replaced by experience. The more they jumped, the less power fear had over them. This is what happens in life. The challenges that scare you today will one day be the things you handle with ease if you have the courage to face them. Think about your own experiences. There were things that once terrified you, but now you do without a second thought. The first time you drove a car, you were probably nervous. You checked the mirrors 100 times, your hands tight on the wheel. But after enough practice, driving became second nature. Confidence came from the experience, from overcoming hesitation, from proving to yourself that you could do it. The same applies to every area of life. If you want confidence in your career, you must be willing to take on challenges, to step into situations where you are uncertain, to learn from mistakes. If you want confidence in relationships, you must be willing to be vulnerable, to face difficult conversations, to risk rejection. If you want confidence in yourself, you must be willing to step outside of your comfort zone, to do the things that scare you, to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. Avoiding challenges does not keep you safe. It keeps you small. It keeps you stuck in the same place, never growing, never evolving. But every time you face a challenge, even if you stumble, even if you fail, you become stronger. The fear that once controlled you starts to fade. The hesitation that once held you back begins to disappear. Imagine an athlete training for a marathon. If they avoid running because it is difficult, they will never build the stamina to complete the race. But if they push through, if they keep running even when their legs ache and their breath is short, something incredible happens. Their endurance increases, their body adapts. And one day, what once seemed impossible becomes effortless. Confidence works the same way. It is not something you're born with, it is something you build through experience, through resilience, through refusing to give up. Think about the people you admire, leaders, artists, entrepreneurs, athletes. Do you think they got where they are by playing it safe? No, they got there because they faced challenges. They took risks. They stepped into the unknown. They failed, learned, adapted, and tried again. And with every obstacle they overcame, their confidence grew. But here is where most people go wrong. They wait for confidence before they act. They think, I will do it when I feel ready. but readiness never comes. If you wait for confidence before facing challenges, you will wait forever. Confidence does not come first, action does. You must take the step even when you are afraid, even when you are uncertain. And only after you take that step, after you see that you survived, after you realize that you are capable, does confidence begin to grow. The greatest mistake people make is thinking that failure means they are not good enough. But failure is not the opposite of confidence. It is part of the process. Every successful person has failed more times than the average person has even tried. The difference is, they did not let failure stop them. They used it as a lesson. They let it shape them, refine them, strengthen them. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal is heated, hammered, shaped, and refined over and over again. Every strike makes it stronger. Every moment in the fire makes it more resilient. This is how confidence is built. It is not given, it is forged. Every challenge you overcome is a hammer strike, shaping you, making you stronger. Every failure is fire, refining you, burning away self-doubt. If you embrace the process, if you keep pushing forward, you will emerge unshakable. So the next time you face a challenge, do not run from it. Do not shrink in fear. Step into it. Face it. Because every challenge you conquer is another brick in the foundation of your confidence. And when you build confidence this way, through experience, through overcoming, through resilience, it is not something that can be shaken. It is not dependent on external validation. It becomes a part of who you are, rooted deep within, unbreakable. Confidence is the ability to stand alone. There is a kind of power in a person who is unafraid to stand alone. A power that does not come from the approval of others, but from something deeper. An unshakable trust in oneself. Most people seek comfort in crowds. They want validation. They want someone to tell them they are right, that they belong, that they are accepted. But true confidence does not come from belonging to a group. It comes from knowing that even if you are the only one standing in your truth, you will not waver. Think about a tree standing on top of a hill. The wind blows, the storms come, but it does not fall. Why? Because its roots go deep. It is not dependent on the trees around it to stand tall. It draws strength from within. This is what confidence is. When you rely on others to give you confidence, you are like a weak tree with shallow roots. If the crowd leaves, if people stop validating you, you fall. But when your confidence comes from within, no external force can shake you. Look at history. Every great leader, every visionary, every person who changed the world had to stand alone at some point. They had to believe in something when no one else did. They had to trust themselves when others doubted them. If they had waited for approval, if they had needed constant reassurance, their ideas would have died before they even started. Confidence is not about fitting in. It is about standing firm, even when you are the only one who sees the vision. Think about a moment in your own life when you had to stand alone. Maybe it was choosing a path that others did not understand. Maybe it was speaking up for something you believed in when everyone else stayed silent. Maybe it was walking away from a situation that no longer served you, even when it meant being alone for a while. In those moments, you were not weak, you were powerful. Because to stand alone takes more courage than to blend in. Most people avoid standing alone because they fear judgment. They fear what others will say. They fear being misunderstood. But ask yourself, who are these people you are afraid of? Who are these voices that hold so much power over your decisions? The truth is, most people are too caught up in their own fears, their own struggles, their own insecurities, to truly think about you. And even if they do judge you, what does it change? Does their opinion change who you are? Does it alter your potential? No. The only thing that truly matters is what you believe about yourself. Imagine an artist painting a masterpiece. If they stop every few minutes to ask people for feedback, adjusting the painting to match every opinion, what happens? The painting loses its original essence. It becomes a collection of others' ideas, not the artist's true vision. But if the artist trusts their own hands, their own eyes, their own instinct, the result is something authentic, something powerful. Life is the same way. If you constantly seek approval, you lose yourself. But if you trust your path, even if no one else understands it, you create something real, something meaningful. There is a saying, lions do not concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. This is not arrogance, it is clarity. A lion does not seek approval before it roars. It does not wait for permission to take its place in the wild. It simply is what it is. Strong, fearless, unapologetic. If you want true confidence, you must become like that. You must walk your path not because others agree with it, but because you know it is right for you. Think about people who inspire you. Were they people who followed the crowd, who hesitated, who needed constant approval? Or were they people who stood strong, who walked alone when necessary, who refused to shrink themselves to fit into places they had outgrown? The world does not remember those who blend in. It remembers those who dared to be different. But standing alone does not mean isolation. It does not mean pushing people away or refusing support. It simply means that your confidence is not dependent on others. It means that you can walk alone when needed, without fear, without hesitation. It means that your worth is not measured by how many people agree with you, but by how strongly you believe in yourself. Confidence is the ability to stand alone in a world that constantly tells you to fit in. It is the ability to trust yourself even when others doubt you. It is the ability to walk your path with certainty, knowing that even if you are the only one who sees the road ahead, it is still worth walking. So the next time you feel uncertain, the next time you question yourself, remember this: you are enough, even when you are standing alone. And in that solitude, you will find your greatest strength. Confidence is expressed through actions, not words. Confidence is not something you announce, it is something you embody. A truly confident person does not go around telling people, I am confident. They do not need to. It is in their walk, their tone, their decisions. It is in the way they handle situations, the way they face challenges, the way they carry themselves. Confidence is silent, but its impact is loud. Look at the people you admire, the ones who walk into a room and immediately command respect. They do not demand attention. They do not boast about their abilities, but something about them makes you notice. Their presence speaks before they do. This is because confidence is not in what they say, it is in who they are. Imagine two people applying for the same job. One of them walks in and says, I am the best for this job. I know I can do it. The other simply walks in, makes eye contact, listens carefully, answers questions with clarity, and remains calm under pressure. Which one do you think exudes real confidence? It is not the one talking the most. It is the one who lets their actions do the talking. In life, we meet people who constantly try to prove themselves. They speak loudly, they over-explain, they seek validation from others. But deep inside, this is not confidence, it is insecurity masked as confidence. True confidence does not seek validation because it does not need to be proven. It is already known. Think about a lion in the wild. It does not roar all the time. It does not try to convince other animals that it is powerful. It simply walks, hunts, and exists in its strength. The jungle knows its power without a single word being spoken. This is how confidence should be felt, not forced. Many people think that confidence is about being extroverted, about speaking the loudest, about taking up the most space. But real confidence is about self-assurance. It is about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and not feeling the need to prove it to anyone. A person who is truly confident does not compete with others. They are too focused on their own journey. Think about a craftsman who has mastered his skill. He does not talk about how good he is. He does not go around bragging. He simply creates. The quality of his work speaks for itself. The way he moves, the way he focuses, the way he delivers, without needing applause. This is confidence. In daily life, confidence is seen in the small moments. It is in the way you make eye contact when you speak to someone. It is in the way you do not rush to fill silence with unnecessary words. It is in the way you say no when something does not align with your values. It is in the way you take responsibility for your choices. A confident person does not panic in difficult situations. They assess, they adjust, they act. When faced with criticism, they do not get defensive. They listen, they evaluate, and if necessary, they improve. When given a challenge, they do not talk about how capable they are. They show it through action. Think about a martial artist in a fight. The one who is truly skilled does not jump around, making unnecessary movements. They are calm, focused, waiting for the right moment. Their confidence is not in their words, it is in their precision, their control, their discipline. The same applies to life. The more you master yourself, the less you need to prove. Confidence is when you walk into a room and do not feel the need to compare yourself to anyone. It is when you stop trying to impress and start focusing on being the best version of yourself. It is when you stop explaining yourself and start letting your results speak. Many people believe they will be confident once they achieve something. Once they get the job, the recognition, the approval of others. But confidence does not come from achievements. It comes from knowing that no matter the outcome, you are capable. It comes from trust in yourself. Think about a student taking an exam. One walks in anxious, doubting every answer. The other, calm, knowing they have prepared well. Their confidence does not come from knowing every answer. It comes from knowing they have done their best. So if you want confidence, stop trying to prove yourself to others. Stop looking for approval. Stop talking about what you will do and start doing it. The world does not respect words, it respects results. Move with certainty, act with clarity, and let your actions define who you are. Confidence is not spoken, it is demonstrated. Confidence attracts opportunities and success. Confidence is a magnet. It pulls opportunities, success, and the right people into your life. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract success effortlessly? How doors open for them, how people want to work with them, how they are chosen for leadership roles, even when they are not the loudest or the most experienced? It is not luck, it is not chance. It is a silent force of confidence at work. The world responds to energy. If you carry yourself with self-assurance, if you walk into a room with certainty, if you speak with conviction, people notice. You do not need to beg for attention or chase after opportunities. They will find you because confidence is rare and anything rare is valuable. Think about a salesperson trying to convince you to buy something. If they seem unsure, if their voice shakes, if they hesitate, would you trust them? No. But if they speak with clarity, if they believe in what they are offering, if they do not seem desperate for the sale, you are more likely to listen. The same principle applies to life. People invest in those who believe in themselves. Confidence creates trust. It tells the world, I know what I am doing. And even if you are still learning, even if you do not have all the answers, your confidence reassures people that you will figure it out. Imagine two job candidates. One says, I think I can do this job. I will try my best. The other says, I am confident I can do this. I have the ability to learn fast and deliver the results. Who do you think gets hired? Confidence does not mean knowing everything. It means believing you are capable of handling anything. Opportunities are like people. They are drawn to those who carry themselves with certainty. Have you ever seen someone enter a room and instantly command respect without saying a word? That is confidence. It is in the way they walk, the way they sit, the way they listen before they speak. It is in their posture, their eye contact, their presence. Now, think about those who constantly doubt themselves. They second guess their choices, they hesitate, they overthink. Opportunities do not wait for hesitation. They pass by those who are unsure and move toward those who are ready. Confidence tells the universe, I am ready. And when you are ready, life responds. Consider a singer stepping onto a stage, two performers, both equally talented. One is nervous, apologetic, afraid to make mistakes. The other stands tall, takes a deep breath, and sings as if the world is listening. Who do you think will be remembered? The one who owns the moment, the one who believes in their voice. Confidence makes you unforgettable. Success is not about being the smartest, the most skilled, or the most experienced. It is about having the courage to step forward when others hesitate. Look at great leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs. Were they always the most qualified? No, but they dared to take risks. They believed in their ideas, even when no one else did. Confidence gave them the strength to keep going when things got tough. Think about an athlete stepping onto the field. If they doubt themselves, if they worry about losing, their performance suffers. But when they step out with certainty, when they trust their training, they play with power. Confidence is not about never failing. It is about knowing that even if you fail, you will rise again. Success is not given to those who wait for permission. It belongs to those who claim it. If you keep waiting until you feel ready, you will wait forever. The truth is, no one ever feels fully ready. Confidence is not about knowing every step ahead. It is about taking the first step anyway. It is about trusting yourself enough to figure it out along the way. Imagine you are in a room full of people and someone asks for a volunteer. Most will look around, waiting for someone else to step up. But the person who raises their hand first, the one who is willing to take a chance, that is the person who will be remembered, who will be given the opportunity. Life works the same way. Those who take action, those who trust themselves, those who say, I'll do it, even when they are unsure, those are the ones who succeed. Confidence is not arrogance. It is not about thinking you are better than others. It is about knowing your own worth. It is about understanding that you have something valuable to offer. And when you believe in yourself, others believe in you too. People often wait for someone to validate them. They think, once I achieve this, then I will be confident. But confidence does not come after success. It comes before. It is what creates success. It is the fuel that drives action. The more you act, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the more success you attract. Have you ever noticed that confident people seem to get more opportunities, even when they are not the most qualified? This is because people are drawn to certainty. When you walk into a room and own your space, when you speak without hesitation, when you take action without waiting for approval, you position yourself for success. Confidence does not mean you never feel fear. It means you do not let fear stop you. It means you trust yourself, even when the path is unclear. It means you say yes to life, even when it challenges you. So if you want success, if you want opportunities, if you want to attract the right people and experiences into your life, start with confidence. Believe in yourself before anyone else does. Show up with certainty. Take action boldly. Because the world rewards those who move with conviction. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you create. It is not given by others. It is built within. The world will try to shake you. People will doubt you and challenges will test you. But your belief in yourself must remain unshaken. Opportunities do not knock on the doors of those who hesitate. Success does not follow those who wait for permission. It follows those who step forward, who take risks, who trust in their own power. You do not need to be the loudest, the smartest, or the most experienced. You just need to be certain that no matter what happens, you will rise, you will learn, and you will move forward. So stop waiting, stop doubting, walk like you belong, speak like you know, act like you are ready, because you are. The world does not remember those who blend in, it remembers those who stand tall. Be that person. Own your presence, trust your journey, and let your confidence lead you to everything you deserve.